no matter what, there's always going to be someone out there who's better than you, whether it comes to looks, personality, behaviors, etc., etc. And, that's why you just always have to stay humble. I've never really had any problems with insecurities of my own. They definitely have been there, but they've never been too chronic, like to the point where they would cripple me. But, you know, I I know myself. I know I'm not exactly the ugliest person, but I know I'm also not the most attractive person either. I see myself really average compared to a lot of people I see around, my friends, etc. But I think it's just really interesting to really talk about this because personally, I know so many people um, who have insecurities that it cripples them. Like they're that severe, and I'm honestly grateful I never had problems with that. I definitely did, but like I said, they were never too serious, I guess. But recently, I'm in this like online community that I joined recently, and maybe like 2 months ago, and the people in there are just they're so amazing. I love them all. It's a Discord community I'm a part of that I found from this one YouTuber I watched, and I decided to join. But when it comes to people's behaviors and the way they would talk in this chat, it kind of made me question myself if I was even insightful. If I had really anything to offer, and it just really made me question if I was even worthy of being in that server. Because personally, for me, I am someone who is really unserious a lot of the time. I like to joke around. I like to laugh, be giggly. Now, I know there's also like a time and place for that, but I think I just do it way too often. And, people definitely vibe with it. I vibe with it. There's definitely some people. But at the same time, I know there's some serious things that people go through. And I somehow, I don't exactly joke about it, but, I kind of hint about it. Kind of like, oh, everything's going to be all right. You'll just like, it's like that kind of like comforting, I guess. It's like comforting in the way that kind of sounds goofy rather than serious. And I recently saw that, people and the way people comfort each other, it is really important. But really, just seeing in the way people comfort each other really made me question if I was even good at it. Like if I had anything good to offer, because in the way I try to comfort people, yeah, I try to make it so like super nice as possible. I try to, be honest and everything, but I guess people just don't really take it all the same way. But I feel like I've caused some damage to people throughout my life, definitely when it comes to comforting. But there's just so many people who are better at it than me. And I don't know if that's something to be like ashamed of. There's definitely some people who don't comfort as well as others do. And I am very guilty of that. I am definitely not fit for comforting people, I guess. Besides that, though, it's just super interesting how people really communicate with each other in the server because, it kind of feels like a family. It kind of feels like a family I'm a part of, and I've definitely met many great people that I still talk to right now, today, from the server, and I can see myself being friends with them for a really long time. So this community is really strong, the one I'm a part of. But to get back to the main point of my video, there's always going to be someone better than you. And I think it is just really important that we stay humble in that way because there's no reason for us to manipulate ourselves, our bodies, our behaviors to be exactly like this one person that we idolize, who we see as like perfect in our minds. Because, God gave you your body. This is the only body that you'll ever get. And I think you should be really grateful that you even have one that is functioning and working. Because all others are just gonna kind of mess up your mind and make you sick in some way if you start to, idolize these people in a certain way to the point where it gets to that level. I hope you're doing really well wherever you are in this world. And I'll catch you guys soon.